Oh, no, for real. I want to get a picture of the phone and her. Oh, it's live now.
Welcome to the Christy Crow Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the Bullitt County High School field here in Union Springs, and we're so glad to have you here with us today, this afternoon, while we're watching the high school practice a little bit. We're going to talk to Coach Willie Spears in a few minutes. Today's show is brought to you by Commissioner Henry Barnett. We appreciate Commissioner Barnett's support of the Bullitt County High School Hornets. And last Friday night, the Bullitt County Hornets lost their second region game of the season to Pike Road. Pike Road Patriots are down the Highway 110, and we had billed this as the Battle of Highway 110, and we were hoping that it would be a little closer battle than what it was. Pike Road is the third undefeated team the Hornets have faced this season, and unfortunately they've lost all three games. So although the Hornets are 1-3 this season and 1-2 in the region, they still have a chance though to make the playoffs for the first time in school history. That's been a goal of Coach Spears since he started here, and that's something that I think we'll have him talk to you about tonight, is what the Hornets have to do to make the playoffs for the first time in school history. This week, the Hornets are facing rival Booker T. Washington. Now, we talked a little bit about the Battle of Highway 110, but that's a new battle. The Battle of Highway 29 has been going on a long time. The Hornets won this game last year in double overtime in a thriller. So we are really looking forward to this year's Battle of Highway 29. We have an exciting show for you today. We'll sit down with this week's player of the game. We're going to visit with the Hornets assistant head coach, take your questions for Coach Spears, and so much more. Speaking of questions, go ahead and tell us what your questions are. Put them in on Facebook, and we'll ask those to Coach Spears at the end of the day. You know, the question I have is, how brave do you have to be to call that fake punt on your first play of the game? So the first fourth down of the game for the Hornets, and you called a fake punt. They took a lot of bravery. We're really excited about that. Thank you for watching the Christy Crow Sports Show. We're going to show you some live coverage from the players' field, practicing behind us, and then we'll be right back.
You got run, you get a sack, okay? But you left your gap and did somebody else's job, and we gave you a big play. You got a triple system, guys. Triple system, okay? Play your gap. Because gap control defense. So everybody play your gap. Everybody do their coverages. Everybody rotate it with one, guys. You'll be fine.
That's my fault. I thought it was like black for me. I thought I was supposed to go with it.
I feel you. It's okay. A lot of y'all got first time playing. I understand that. A lot of freshmen, I understand that. No excuses, guys, but we got to get done. And I say this because, guys, look at Davis, we did it, right? We did it. We did everything perfect, guys, look at Davis. From A to Z, we did everything perfect. So what happened from last week, or week from last week? What happened? What about the shift? The shift. All right, so if we in base over, right? You don't want that. And everybody slide here. That means shrink on chain, right? You're going to shift down 3 techniques to the 1. Again. You're going to go from the 1 to the 3. That's all I'm doing. It's just, we set it to shift, and you're going to shift to the phone side. That's all I'm doing, guys. Good. Again. All right, let's go team. BCW, let's go. Let me get spread, coach. There we go. We're going to end on that one right there. Good. That's the game winner right there. Hey, Godwell. I mean, that way.
Yeah, that's
It
interesting.
messed them up.
We're back here live with Coach Willie Spears, head coach of the Bullitt County Hornets. Coach, it was a tough week. I know you suffered your third loss of the season. We went into the season with high hopes for the team. We know we still can make it to the playoffs, but morale has got to be getting tough around here. We've got some injuries. You've had 3 losses. What are you doing to keep morale up for the team and the coaches?
Well, good question. One, we got to keep plugging. We try to find other teams at college, pro, high school that started off 1-3 and still had great seasons. Montgomery Academy last year was 1-3 and ended up in the playoffs. So it's possible. They're the same size school that we are. We were 1-3 last year, ended up with 5 wins and was this close for making the playoffs. Ended up with a kid that was all state and ended up winning homecoming for the first time in 27 years. And so there's a lot of positive. One great thing about being in Bullitt County is we have the BTW game, we have Barber County, and we have homecoming. Our community, regardless of our record, shows up for those games.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those are big games.
Right, and so that it's kind of like, you know, the Iron Bowl or the Michigan, Ohio State game. It's just, no matter what the record is, some people only know that game. They don't even watch any other games. They only watch that. So we have people looking forward to homecoming, even though we're 1-3, looking forward to the BTW game and the Barber County game. So that's one way we keep morale up. Another way is we let the guys know that we don't love them less because they lose. We just want to get better each week. But we still care about them as humans. We care about their grades. I just got off the phone with Flint Troy's mom. He just had a successful surgery today. You know, so
Praise
it's
God.
right. So it's so much bigger than football, but it's hard. It's easy to keep morale up when you're winning. When you're undefeated, everybody's happy. You know, I mean, from the police officer you meet in the street, hey coach, how you doing? And to the preacher, to the guy on the corner, whoever. But when you're losing, it's kind of like, I need to get a win. You know, so it's tough, but we're gonna be okay. We're gonna persevere, and hopefully we can get on a winning track this week.
Well, and it is good that you've been here before. Like you said, last season you were 1-3. You came back, you started winning games, ended up 5-5. So I think that's something that some of the players can look at to say, well, we've been here before, and look at where we came out. So maybe they'll do that again this season, because I know that will help you from losing the players. I mean, that's what you're worried about, is
Right.
losing the players and losing their faith. I mean, do you think you could lose them due to the losing record you have so far?
Well, yeah, we got a starter not at practice today. You know, I guarantee if he was undefeated, he would be here. You know, he's going to come with a great excuse because I had to do this and I had to do that. And I don't know if we're going to let him play or not because he missed today last week. But that's what happens with teenagers, with a lot of people in life. They're front runners. When things are going good, everybody's all in. When things are going bad, we point fingers. It's not my fault. He did it. It wasn't me. And you don't want to be around that type of environment. So we try to create an environment that everyone's going to be a part of, regardless of the outcomes. We want to focus on the process and not the outcomes, because you can't always control the outcome.
Right.
But the process is part of the journey. So with that being said, we won't lose them as a whole because of homecoming. They want to be on the football team when it's homecoming. When all those tents are out here and all that smoke is in the air from the barbecue grills and everybody's dancing and having a good time, they want to be a part of the football team, regardless if the team is 0-10 or 10-0. And so we have that built-in incentive to be a part of something special. And I'm telling you, homecoming in Bullitt County is something to behold.
It is. I know it's not too far away, but before we get to homecoming, we have the Battle of Highway 29, Booker T. Washington, come up next week, or this week, I guess, this Friday. Now, they have the opposite record of the 3 teams that have defeated you. Reeltown, St. James, and Pike Road are all 5-0. What's BTW?
They don't have a win yet. They're either 0-5 or 0-4. And you know this, when you play a rival, the records don't matter.
Yeah.
You know, you throw out the records. When Auburn and Alabama play, no one cares what the record is. The Auburn fans are excited, Alabama fans are excited. It's kind of like the Labor Day Classic with Alabama State and Tuskegee. That big game is kind of like, this is the baby version of it. When they walked in here last year, I'm going to be honest, I've been in a lot of big games, a lot of nice atmosphere. I coached college ball, Florida A&M, and Bethune-Cookman down in the Orange Bowl in Orlando. Over 50,000 people. People are crazy, the bands. But for a high school game, they walked in here last year. I'm talking about these ladies had to be 70 years old. They were swinging and singing these songs. And right behind them was a group of 40-year-olds doing the same thing, dressed the same way. Then right behind them was the girls that graduated in the early 2000s. And then the team came in. And the whole game, they sat right there and cheered the entire game. Their fans were all dressed alike. I told my dad, he was at the game, I said, Dad, I wish every school could model BTW school spirit. Because last year they were 0-4.
Right.
But they came here like they had been undefeated for 20 years in a row. And so I'm excited about the atmosphere this Friday night. And I hope we win. Last year we went back and forth and we found a way to pull out in double overtime. It could have went either way. But the excitement of the game is what high school football is all about.
Right.
The band, the cheerleaders, the flag girls, even the color guard. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful night for football. They got a great stadium, and so, and they're really good. They're a lot better than their record. They're big, they're fast, they're very well coached, and so it's going to be a good contest. But that big trophy, our goal is the next show is to have that trophy sit on the table. That's our goal.
Well, I can't wait to see that trophy next week when we have the show. But there is a difference between BTW and Union and Bullitt County High School, and we have a different support staff, different athletes, different facilities. Tell us about that and how you think that may affect the game this week.
Well, it's a lot of difference. They're bigger. They're 4A, we're 3A. They have more students than we have, so they have more athletes to choose from. They have more consistency. I think Coach, I want to say Coach Faulks was here like 7 years up until about 15 years ago. Bullitt County hadn't had the same coach for over 3 years and almost 20 years.
Wow.
So they've had some consistency. They have 8 paid assistants. 8 paid assistants? How many do you have? We have 2 paid assistants.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a big difference in what you're going to get out of guys, their commitment level. And we're blessed to have a lot of guys that show up every day. Half our staff drive from Montgomery. They sacrifice their own gas money, their own time. Last year they had to buy their own uniform. We just aren't set up as well as they're set up over there. And if you look at it really closely, you'll see that they have been doing it that way for years. Like our principal done a great job this year of getting us a football class, a workout class, or a PE class for our football players to work out. They've had that for 10, 15 years over there. We just now got it back after about a 10-year hiatus. And so there are a lot of little things that contribute to winning and losing. You think about this, you got a kid in class, and you could teach him the plays that he's gonna see that week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the other team you're playing, they only see their kids at practice. That's a big advantage. And so they got a lot of things in place that we hope to get one day. I sat down with their coach, Coach Hurd, last year, and he was very willing to share with me how they do their booster club, how they do their fundraising, how they do all those things. And we just don't have that. We don't have a great, cohesive, working relationship right now in those areas. But I believe we'll get there. But that gives them a great advantage when it comes to the football game.
Well, that goes back to what you've been saying since the beginning of the season. It's about building a program, not about building a team or about a particular game. And I certainly think that Booker T. Washington has been doing that consistently for the last 20 years. And I think if we could get some consistency here, we might be able to do the same thing. Now, last year was the first time Bullitt County has defeated Booker T. Washington in several years. How long did it been before that?
I think 3 times in the last 20 years. If I look, I think we beat them 7-6, like an 08 or something like that. But it has been a while. No one could tell me. Red Cooper may know, he's over there, if we beat them back to back. I think the series is 7 games to 15 games, but that was back before they was called Booker T. Washington. They had another name. They combined schools about maybe 10, 15 years ago. But we have been getting the low end of the stick. Bullitt County doesn't beat Tuskegee very much, BTW very much. And so last year when we beat them, Devontae Davis caught an interception right down there to seal the win in double overtime. And I'm talking about electric. It was an electric atmosphere, getting that trophy. Commissioner Ron Smith, he presented the trophy. Myron Penn bought the trophy years ago, has a hornet on one side, a golden eagle on the other side. It's big. We have it in our trophy case right now.
That's what I was going to ask. Where is it?
It's in a trophy case. What we did last year when we won it, we put it in the locker room for about 3 or 4 days, and then we put it in the front office for about 2 weeks, and then we put it in the trophy case. So when you walk into a basketball game, it's right there in the case. And I'm gonna take the players by tomorrow, and we're gonna look at it. I'm gonna ask them, is that gonna be here next week, or is it gonna be in Tuskegee next week? I said, you guys get to make that decision. So we don't take it for granted. That's why I didn't want to bring it out now. If we win, I want to bring it out next week. But It's a big deal. It's exciting, and I know you're a big Auburn fan, but it's kind of like we're Auburn and Tuskegee's Alabama.
I understand.
So when we
they're
do
bigger,
beat them,
they're supposed to win.
Right, but when we do beat them, it's a great feeling.
I know it is, and we're looking forward to enjoying that feeling Friday night. When we come back, we're going to have this week's Coaches Spotlight.
We're going to watch a little more practice.
Welcome back. Our Coaches Spotlight today is brought to you by Victoryland Dog Track in Shorter, Alabama. We appreciate Victoryland Dog Track and County Commissioner Henry Barnett for their support of the Christy Crow Sports Show today. And this week's Coaches Spotlight is linebacker coach Therese Vines. Coach Vines, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? Did you play football when you were in high school?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Lafayette, Alabama. I graduated back in 2013. I played defensive end. I played linebacker, and I'm the linebacker coach here. I'm enjoying the experience here and everything like that.
So did you play after high school?
I played a little bit at Alabama State, and then I stopped playing for a little bit. I got more into my education. I didn't have a scholarship or anything like that.
So you've been a Hornet for a while now.
I've been a Hornet for a while. I've been black and gold all my life.
That's great.
In Lafayette, we are black and gold. Alabama State, of course, black and gold. And here we black and gold. So
well,
it's like everywhere I go is black and gold.
That's a good thing. You need to stick around here so you can stay in the black and gold. So you are the linebackers coach. What's it like to coach top defensive player Kamal Lewis?
Oh man, what a great humble guy he is. He's one of the leading tacklers of the team. He's a leader in the classroom. He got a good GPA. He's a leader on the field as well. I like Kamal Lewis very well, and stuff like that. He every game he's just like, Coach, I got to do this, I got to do that. He come up to me, and as well, I'm in the school too. So he comes up to me mostly a lot. He be like, Coach, what I do here, and all that. I really like that about Kamal. He's very eager to learn each and every day.
It seems to me Coach Spears has gotten all of his assistant coaches to get more involved in the kids' lives and try to make a difference, not only on the field, but off the field. Have you been able to do that with Kamal and the other players that you're coaching?
Well, I get a couple of guys, we'll work out together or something like that. We talk. We're just like a brotherhood here and everything like that. They look up to me. So I try to set a great example for all the kids that look up to me.
Well, I know that's important to them and for you. Well, you are the only other coach other than Coach Spears that works on campus. What do you do on campus?
I work with the kids with special needs and paraprofessional with that. A lot of guys on the football team, they like to come up to the room and be like, hey, Coach, how you doing? They just like to see me around the school, and I like that. They all come up and be like, Coach, how you doing, Coach? I be like, how you doing? And I'll be like, I see Julius, he came today. He's like, Coach, what you doing, man? I said, Julius, go to class, man.
Well, I know. I mean, that obviously means that they respect you a lot.
Yes.
and appreciate you being here for them, both on and off the field. And we appreciate you joining us here today. What do you think is going to happen this weekend with Booker T. Washington, the Battle of Highway 29?
Well, this is my first time being here at Bullitt County. Everybody told me about how big this game is. This will be my first experience of it. I'm very excited for it and everything like that. A lot of guys came up to me today in the cafeteria during breakfast. They were like, Coach, you ready for this game? Ready. Coach, they still ready. Even though we 1-3, these guys are not giving up. And that's what I like about them. They still fighting hard and everything like that. So this will be a very, very great game for us this week. It
will be a great game. I know last year was the first year the Hornets won against Booker T. Washington during anybody's tenure that's been here so far in this team. So this one hopefully will be the second this time. And I know it's going to be a great week, getting ready for it, a hard week. You're going to have to be working hard all week to get ready for it, I know.
Oh, yes, man, we will. We're working hard right now. Coach Vines, which is my first cousin, me and him came in together. He's very, very eager. He's a great defense coordinator. He's going to be all in him today and everything like that. He go 100% every time. He's not letting up. So me, though.
Well, that's what it takes to win, and we appreciate you, Coach Vines, for joining us today. Good luck this weekend with the game, and go back there and get to work.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, go Hornets.
When we come back, we'll sit down with this week's player of the week, Kendall Stevenson.
Kim.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Christy Crow Sports Show. This week's Player of the Week is brought to you by my law firm, Jenkins Crow and Dixon, a law firm located right here in downtown Union Springs, and we're a proud sponsor of the Bullitt County Hornets and the Bullitt County football program. This week's Player of the Week is Kendall Stevenson. Kendall is a senior this year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you enjoying your senior year at Bullitt County High School?
It's going by fast, but I'm having fun. I've been staying busy.
How many years have you been playing on the football team?
This is my first year.
So this is your first year and you're the Player of the Week. That's pretty impressive. You must be working hard.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you played football anywhere before this?
In middle school,
Did you? What made you decide to come back out and join the team this year?
my cousin actually asked me to.
Talk a little louder.
Oh, and Coach Spears also, he asked me to come out one day, and I figured I might as well just go back the next day and the next day, and I stayed.
So how have you been enjoying it?
I love it. I love my brothers, every single one of them.
What do you like most about being on the football team this year?
Just spending time with my bros, like grinding together, working together, laughing. I love it.
Well, I know this was a hard loss last week against Pike Road. That was a tough team. They had some big players on the team. What was your best play of the game, do you think?
I played number 4 right up the middle, and I chased him down for the tackle. If I didn't chase him, then it would have been a touchdown. I don't know how I got there.
I guess you ran pretty fast to get there. That was good. Well, they seemed like they were scared of the Hornets as the game started. Y'all held them to 3 points in the first quarter. That was a great first quarter of football for the Hornets and for the defense. You had to be pretty proud of that.
Yes, ma'am. We just have to remain focused. We lost our focus.
Well, what are y'all going to do this week to try to help keep your focus?
We're going to do more walkthrough. We're going to do more reps. We're going to watch more film just to make sure everybody reads their keys.
Well, that's great, and thank you so much for being here on the Christy Crow Sports Show today. Congratulations on being named this week's Player of the Week, and good luck against Booker T. Washington, the Battle of Highway 29. That's going to be a big game.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to make it up for last week.
Amen.
Can you ask him where he works?
Yes, where do you work?
Oh, I work at Adams Pecan. Come down, and you can order 400 T-shirts, and we'll make them for you.
He makes the T-shirts.
Oh, good. Well, I saw some of the T-shirts that you made. A friend of mine had one that she got made Friday afternoon on at the game Friday night, and it was a good-looking T-shirt, so I know you do a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kendall, and thank you for working with Kim. We appreciate all she's doing, too. Get back to work.
Yes, ma'am.
When we come back, we're going to have Coach Spears answering your questions. So this is your last chance to send in some questions. Go ahead and send those in on Facebook Live, and then we'll have Coach Spears back here to answer all your questions.
That's right. We don't have any questions.
We don't have any questions yet?
Uh-uh.
Well, y'all send them in. If I have to start making up questions, they might be hard questions for Coach Spears to answer.
That's right.
Going quick today.
There he comes.
We're getting through it. We got to get y'all back to work. You got lots of coaching to do.
Oh, so you're trying to say we need to be doing more practice?
No, no.
Yeah, you sound like Kim Graham now.
I said
How we got to win all year?
Oh, I said you got lots of coaching to do.
Yeah.
So, welcome back. Kim just told me we did not have any questions yet, so I have a few questions. I told you that first, fourth down where you were gonna, you didn't take the kick, you faked the punt. What made you decide to do that?
Well, we saw something on film. We saw that the 2 outside guys would run upfield. So we figured if our first guy could kick him, and if our kicker pretended like the ball was snapped over his head, they would think the ball was snapped over his head. And if we had a way to watch film, I would show you exactly what happened. Our player of the game, he missed his block, Kendall. He was blocking down. He didn't stay with his guy. But a guy named Keith Williams, he was supposed to come in and look inside, kind of like a power concept. One guy's going to kick, the other guy's going to wrap. And if he would have looked inside and blocked, we would have got the first down. But there are two, we're starting 5 freshmen. There were 2 freshmen. It's a big game. They've never been in that situation. And both of them went outside. So nobody got the guy scraping across. And he's 7 yards, we got 6. But anytime the ball's in between the 40 and the 40, we believe it's a good opportunity to fake it. We may not fake it, but we have about 3 or 4 fakes. We put one in a week, and then we review them over and over, and then we just call them. No one will know we're calling it. We look the same as if we're going to punt. And so I just thought it'd be a good opportunity, and we almost got it.
Yeah, it was really close, and it brought some excitement to the crowd. Even though you didn't get the first down, I think the crowd was excited that
And you were
tried
paying
something
attention.
different. I was paying attention.
And you would have made that call.
I would have made that call. You know, you want, in a big game like that where you're supposed to lose, you want a momentum swing.
Right.
And a momentum shift that early in the game could have made a big difference if you'd gotten it, but just trying it at least excited the crowd. They started paying a little more attention.
So even though I saw a picture of you on Facebook babysitting, so you actually was watching the game.
I had Kenny's baby sister in my lap the whole time.
Oh, was she rooting for her brother?
Oh, she was rooting for her brother, let me just say.
Good.
That little girl is going to be a heartbreaker, though.
Yeah.
She's a cutie.
She look a lot better than her brother, I tell you that. Man. He's close. But right here, right before the half, Luke Sturdivant went out of bounds at the 1 yard line with 0 time left.
I was watching the clock, and
so
it was break my heart.
that would have been a big play. And then right there on the 3, Kenny, we fumbled going in. So those are, you talk about momentum shifts, those are 2 opportunities, points we should have had on the board. Getting that experience, we're lacking that game breaker. But the good thing about football, we believe someone's going to emerge over the next few weeks, over the next few days, to be able to make those plays. We were so close, though, to making it a better game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. At the end of the first half, you were driving down the field. Luke made a couple of great catches. The crowd was getting into you. Everybody's going, Luke, Luke.
That's from basketball. That's the chant. When Luke get in, this is what I tell the other, it's 20 Lukes. I said, they're not rooting for him, they're rooting for you guys.
Right.
You know, the Luke Seth and Luke Sturdivant, and there are 2 Lukes in the band. His dad's a Luke, you know, and someone told me that the street they live on, there's a church on the corner, it's called St. Luke's. So the Luke's running.
It's a good name to have.
Yeah, it is.
And it really was. Like at the end of the first half, there still was good momentum and a good vibe in the crowd for the Hornets because we were so close. Even though the score at the end of the first half was 17-3, it just didn't feel like we were being outplayed that much. It was just we had that one turnover that they turned into a score, and just there were a couple of lucky breaks that they had that two or three plays we would have been in the game completely. Definitely.
And it's, like I said, we're 1-3. We have a realistic chance of winning out. You know, it's going to take week by week. Like I said, you know, this team we're playing, they haven't had a lot of success this year. We haven't had a lot of success. We played 2 more teams that haven't won much this year. And so we just got to get better each week. And it's exciting this week that we get to play against BTW because it's a rival. And I guarantee you it's going to be a close game. It's going to be back and forth. And the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win. I mean, so I hope we had home field advantage last year.
Yeah,
I hope that
doesn't.
Home field advantage I hope it doesn't play in that.
Even though they brought their fans with them last year, we just got to show up with our fans this year.
That's right. You hear that? We got to show up with our fans this year. And I guarantee you, for this game, they're going to be there.
Good.
Kenny Owens' mama is watching. Have we mentioned he was WSFA Player of the Week?
We have not mentioned that this week. We're so excited to see that. He had more votes than anybody in the history of
family
WSFA.
in Georgia voting. I heard there was people from California voting, Oklahoma voting. So I think everyone asked all their friends to vote. You know,
well, I know Kim, so she got put in Facebook jail because she shared it so many times that they wouldn't let her share it anymore.
That's a good jail to be in.
Exactly, especially for that reason. And so we were so proud to have our first ever WSFA Player of the Week from Bullock County, and Kenny Owens.
He deserved it.
And he had a good game this week. I mean,
he didn't play bad. I watched the film with just him this morning. He and I sat down. And Kenny is maturing to the fact, he came to me and said, Coach, would you sit down with me and watch every one of my plays and tell me what I did wrong? And he texted me all weekend asking what could I do better. And so we're going to get there. That type of leadership and ownership is going to be the reason that we turn the corner.
Sure. And then also as your other players get more experience and a little more depth in that. I mean, Kendall, your Player of the Week this week, this is his first year playing since middle school.
Right.
And he had a great game, but you just have to have the experience.
It takes time. I mean, especially in law, I joke with you about it all the time, but if you're going against a first-year lawyer, you feel pretty good about yourself. Like, they may be good, but it's a few things they haven't figured out yet. And we have 11 guys on our team that have never, ever played varsity football that are playing.
Right.
We got 7 more. We got 11 guys out of the 22. We got 11 that this year is the first year that they're playing varsity football. And it's so much faster than middle school. It's so much intricate in middle school. It's so much more when it comes to the breaking down of each play. And if you look at it, I tell people all the time, you're looking at football on television. If you're a coach, you look at the game totally different.
Oh,
You
sure.
see what they're doing, why they're doing, how they're doing it. It's probably when you watch Law and Order, so you probably say that wouldn't happen that way, or that definitely couldn't happen that fast, or that. And it's when I watch a football game, my wife is kind of like, "Could you just watch it, please, and stop analyzing everything?"
I know.
But it's. I'll say something. She'll say, "The announcer's copying everything you're saying." I said, "Baby, it's not rocket science." She said, "Well, everybody doesn't know they're gonna do that." But it's gonna take time for the game to slow down for them. And Kendall is so smart,
Yeah.
you know, and so he gets it, and he's so coachable. And so it was exciting this week. He was a player of the week, and we're exciting. Hopefully, that next week someone that we don't even think about is gonna step up and have a great game, because we're gonna need it, because BTW is pretty good.
Yeah, they are, but so are we.
That's right.
Well, our injury report this week is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Coach, who do we have on our injury list this week?
It might be quicker for me to tell you who's not injured.
Oh, no.
We got, you see, can you look at Caldwell?
Uh-huh.
He's injured. He was our starting safety. He's on crutches. All right, we have Flint Troy, who just got out of surgery.
We're grateful that he's out of surgery, and a successful surgery, I hope.
Oh, yeah, successful surgery. He said, "I wish when I woke up I have a new ankle." That's what he said to me. And then we have Callaway, who's around here catching kickoff somewhere. He's got hurt his leg at practice. He's been out for about 4 weeks. This is the 4th week he's out. He hadn't played in one game. And then we have Devon Snell. We were really hoping he was going to be one of our top players. He's probably our fastest player. He got hurt in the 7-on-7 right here against Eufaula. Just backpedaling and came out of his backpedal wrong towards ACL.
Oh.
So he's hurt. And then we have Lee. He's hurt. Jaquavius Lee, he played the middle linebacker for number 22. He's out at least for a week or two. He has a bruised knee. And then we have there's somebody I'm missing that just got hurt.
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal Thomas. Jamal Thomas, he has a bruised knee. Jamal got hurt the last play, one of the last plays of the game. We went by the hospital to go check with him that night. Talked with his mother 2 or 3 times today. He was actually coming from Montgomery, was trying to hurry back to practice. I said, "Whoa, relax, it's okay.
Yeah.
Go home, get some rest." And he was a starter as well. He started on offense and played a lot of defense this week. So we have a lot of injuries. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. We have a kid named Jaquavius Smith. He's a freshman who's going to start for us at slot or corner. Unbelievable talent. He's a Division I cornerback. I mean, he's going to be that top guy that comes out of here. Has great parents, great work ethic, and he's been cleared, but his parents want to hold him out a little bit longer, which of course we don't argue with.
Yeah,
but,
you got to respect that.
Oh, no doubt, because I told his mom and dad, I can't promise that the first place he's out there he won't get hurt again.
Sure,
You know,
it's a tough sport.
Yeah, if y'all think that you want to hold him out, it's too quick, it's fine with me, but he's injured as well. So, I mean, it's just tough, and that's football. You know, I said before, football and injuries go together like peanut butter and jelly, and it's unfortunate, but we got some guys that are going to step up. We're looking forward to that, and hopefully we have no more injuries for the year.
Well, again, we've already talked about some of the guys that have stepped up already behind injured folks, like your quarterback.
Right.
I mean, he's done a great job coming in as a second string this season, and I know he can continue to get better every game. So I hope all of our injured folks get well, but those that don't, we're going to say our extra prayers for you and hope that you continue to feel better, even if you don't get well this season. Well, before we get to the questions, I don't know if we have any yet. We did have a few college games that people might have watched this weekend.
Did you watch any?
I watched a little football on Saturday. And
who's the biggest sports fan? You or your husband?
My husband.
Okay.
I think he's a pretty big one, but I don't complain.
You're right behind.
I don't complain. And so you kind of doubted. You said you picked Auburn just because they were the closer team. You weren't really sure that they were going to go into Texas A&M and come out with a win.
It's hard to win at College Station. That 12th man is real. I spent some time in Montgomery. One of the kids I coached in Montgomery, Keyshawn Brown, he plays linebacker for Texas A&M. Another kid, I didn't coach him. He was at Carver a couple years before I got there. He plays defensive end, number 3 for Auburn. He's really good. There's a kid that played at Lanier as a backup quarterback for Texas A&M. These are all good kids. You know, you want to see them do well. And it was a good game, but Auburn defense looked really, really good.
They showed up, and I hope they show up again this weekend for Mississippi State. They're our last home game for about a month and a half.
Wow,
so.
You'll be there right now.
Yeah, we'll be there. So we'll be there Saturday, and then we have a month of away games.
Wow. Isn't that crazy how the schedule works?
I know. You said you're not in control of Bullock County's schedule for this year, and I don't know who's in control of ours, but I know that they know more about it than me.
Right, they know what they're doing for sure.
Well, speaking of Alabama teams, University of Alabama has had a great year. I mean, they're undefeated, but they haven't played a ranked opponent. You think they should be ranked number 1?
They shouldn't. You know, a lot of this stuff is tradition. Like Michigan was ranked high before the season. A lot of it has to do with what they've been doing over the last 50 years. And so I like Alabama. I like Auburn as well. I'm not from the state, so I know that you got to pick one. Well, I just like football. But they haven't played anybody to prove to us that they're number 1. They may be number 1, but they haven't proven it. I think Clemson has done a little bit better job playing some tough opponents early. Georgia looked good against Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did.
You know, Auburn, of course, looked good against Texas A&M. There's been a lot of good teams up front. Ohio State looks amazing. Their quarterback scored 6 touchdowns in 1 quarter this weekend. So I don't think Alabama should be number 1, which I think will be okay with Coach Saban. It'll give them a chip on the shoulder. They don't respect us. They won't get. I mean, he likes that kind of stuff. And so, I don't think they should be number 1, but we'll find out. They're gonna have some tough games here pretty soon.
Well, speaking of a tough game, Michigan had a tough game against Wisconsin. Wow, that was a surprise about the score in that game.
Yeah, I called Coach Harbaugh and asked him could he come help us next year. He may be out of a job, and I'm just kidding. I've never met Coach Harbaugh, but I like him. I like his brother even more than Coach over there at the Ravens. But they got demolished. I mean, wasn't even close.
Where did that come from?
And I think Wisconsin's underrated. Now, Wisconsin's running back has led the nation in rushing the last 3 years, but because he's not in the South, we don't hear a lot about him. You know, Wisconsin, nobody even thinks about. I mean, I'm a big college football fan. I can't name you 5 players that ever played at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I know Ron Dane. I might get to thought a while. I might think of 1 quarterback. But so we just don't follow them as much. But the truth is, they're pretty good.
Obviously.
And I think their defense is really good. And I believe that Michigan is overrated. And I think that they're going to probably lose 3 or 4 more games. They almost lost to Army.
Yeah. I think probably, unfortunately, it's not going to be Michigan the rest of the season.
You know, but we could use some help, Coach Harbaugh. And I know you got an $8 million contract. We can get you 8 Snicker bars if you come down here and work with us in Bullock County.
I'll double that offer.
See? We know somebody. 16 Snicker bars. Come holler at us. Now you got to worry about it. It's a Christy Coach show. We won't be talking bad about you on ESPN.
No, not at all. Well, Georgia, you mentioned Georgia's defeat over Notre Dame. They've had a great game this week.
Did you watch the game?
I did watch some of the game. I'll have to say I did not watch the end of it.
It was good.
It was a good game.
Yeah, you probably was talking about their defense. Notre Dame's defense was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they don't play in a conference, so it's hard for them to get the credit that they want or deserve. And I really was hoping, I like Georgia, but I really was hoping that they would get a big win. I think it's good for college football. You know, but Coach Kirby Smart is like Nick Saban, and Kirby Smart is really coming up to be that next guy. So I'm not shocked that Georgia won. That running back Swift is amazing. Their quarterback is amazing. You know, their backup is the one that's at Ohio State. And the other backup went to Washington. They're all doing good.
Yeah.
You know, so there's just so many athletes in Athens, and so I'm not shocked by that. But that was a really, really good game. Notre Dame like us. They made a lot of mistakes. They kept jumping outside. Had a lot of false starts. They fumbled the ball. They did a lot of things to shoot themselves in the foot. And you can't do that against a good team.
No, you can't. And that's, we made some mistakes like that in the first half. A lot of false starts this past week, and we can't do that. It's coming up.
And that's
Friday.
a freshman. You know, I won't say his name because he's a young guy, but that's a freshman, first time starting offense and defense. You go from playing in middle school ball where you dominated everybody because you was bigger. Now you're in high school, you're not bigger than everybody. I guarantee you, Real Town didn't start more than 1 freshman. St. James or Pike Road, and we starting 5 freshmen.
Right.
Now it's going to pay off for us in the long run.
Sure.
But right now you're playing those tough teams and you're starting guys that have never done it. Like I said in the courtroom, if you got a rookie, you're in there like licking your chops, like this guy don't even know his chair to sit in. You know, and so it's the same with our guys. I mean, they look good at practice and walkthrough, but the game is so fast.
Yeah.
And you pause the film, you say, where are you supposed to fit? Because I'm supposed to be in the B gap. And you play it, why did you go to C gap? Coach, I don't know. Well, it happens so fast.
Right.
We tell our guys, like for our linebackers, for instance, you read the guard. If the guard pulls and go that way, you pull and go that way. Well, the guard will pull and they'll run right through that gap, which is what the team wants, because that seemed like the logical thing to do. You need rep and rep and reps and reps and reps until it's your second nature to do it right. And Coach Saban said this one time, we're going to keep doing it until we can't get it wrong. We're going to keep doing it so we do it right when we're not even thinking about it. We're not just going to do it okay. We're just going to keep doing it until it's impossible for us to mess it up. And we're not there yet.
Practice makes perfect.
Right.
Y'all can get there. Well, if you had to select the college football playoff today, who do you think makes it?
Are you a violent person?
No, I'm not about
Okay, good. 'Cause I'm not gonna say Auburn. I want to.
No, don't.
We're live.
Yeah.
Okay. Clemson,
Yeah, Clemson's gonna make it.
Ohio State.
Probably.
Let me tell you why. The last 2 or 3 years, I know 2. The last 2 years, the Big Ten winner, conference champion, didn't get in, and I think that's wrong. So whoever won the Big Ten, the last 2 years been Ohio State, they didn't even let them into the playoffs. Last year they said Oklahoma was better. I don't think Oklahoma did see it, although I love the Jalen Hurts story. So Clemson, Ohio State, I believe Georgia may get in, and Alabama.
That sounds about right. You're going to have 2 SEC teams in there, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, it's the strongest conference in the nation, but also it just brings more money to the game.
That's what it's all about. Nobody wants to admit it.
Yeah, it's about money.
Guess how much the ticket was to get into the Georgia Notre Dame game? Just guess. The average price.
$125.
$800.
What?
Yep.
Ball coming.
Oh my God.
$800.
Ball.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ball came right in between us. Yeah, $800. That's how much it costs. $800. So
that's crazy.
they're gonna get in because they have a huge following.
Right.
Kirby Smart came on the scene and gave them more following. You know, he's an alum from there, and then he came from Alabama. Alabama's gonna bring more people to a bowl game no matter where it's played than
Right.
most people are going to bring. And so no one wants to admit it, but that's how you get into the college playoff. You get people in the seats. And so Alabama, if they lose 2 games, they'll still get in. Even if Georgia beats them and Auburn beats them, they'll get in. It's messed up, ain't it?
Well, I don't know if it's messed up. It's just the reality in which our system works. Well, do we have any questions?
No, I was saying Commissioner Henry Barnett's watching, and he's one of the sponsors
Thank you for
today.
Thank you
Sponsoring.
so much, Commissioner Barnett. We really do appreciate your sponsorship, and this is made. We can do this because of you and these great players behind us all. Thank you too, Commissioner Barnett. We appreciate your support, and we are about to wrap up unless we have any questions.
We don't. The only question was about the injury report, and y'all have covered that.
You got it. Good. Is there anything at Adams Pecans that people should be purchasing for the big BCHS game?
Well, we got the bells.
Bells.
You can't go wrong with
T-shirts.
the cowbell.
Can they come get a personalized shirt?
Yes, and tell them about the coach for a week.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a thing where you may love this. For $10, you go to Adams Pecans and you fill your name out on a cue card, fold it up. Miss Renee will take your name and put it in a hat. On the show, probably in 2 weeks, we'll do a live drawing. Whoever we pull out, they get to be a coach for a whole week.
Oh man, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, so they get to go to our, like we just had a film session. They get to go to that. We're gonna meet. We'll probably meet tonight to about 11:30 tonight. Seriously, we'll get out of practice about 7. We just got on the field about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. We'll be on the field till about 7 o'clock. The coaches love on the kids in the locker room. Then we'll meet for about 3 or 4 hours tonight, and you can stay for that. You can meet all week, and then you'll be over the kickoff return team. So you'll get to put in whatever kickoff return you want to put in. You'll get to select the 11 players that plays on it. And when we do kickoff return in the game, you'll get to decide where we're going to return it, how we're going to return it, and all of that for homecoming. You'll get a hat, you'll get a polo shirt, you got to have your own khaki pants. And we don't have any more coach's shoes. You have to wear your own black shoes. But we'll get you a hat and a shirt, and you'll get to be on the sideline. And of course, I'm sure Miss Kim will take pictures of you. But that'll be
Miss Kim might win.
Oh,
Miss
yeah.
Kim might win.
Miss Kim might be
Okay.
the coach of the week.
Yes, she might. But it's $10, and of course the money goes to the children. But I think it's going to be a great opportunity for people to see inside what we do. You have a duty night. So on duty night, you got to wash laundry, you got to dry laundry, you got to hang it up in the lockers.
Forget Miss Kim's not
Kim
entering.
changed her mind, see? You got to clean the locker room. The Booster Club provide peanut butter and jelly every day. You got to make sure the boys clean the table off. You got to sweep, or I like to use a blower, sweep or blow the locker room out. You got to wipe down the weight equipment. This is what we do every day.
Right.
So you get the whole caboodle of coaching. Or you can win and decide, I only want to do one part. I only want to do the game, coach. I only want to come to practice. Or you can get the entire experience. And so we would love for anybody to try that out. And we may need to make a little short video too and post it. But I think it's a great idea. And I think it's cool for people to see the inside workings of what we do.
Sure. Well, I think it'll make people appreciate a lot more of what you do. It's not just on the field or even in the weight room. I mean, it's
Right.
a full...
And they can get cussed out. Like I was on the sideline this week. Some man threw some M&Ms at me and tried to tell me what play to run. So they can stand right there and they can stand behind me and be my shield so nobody they can throw M&Ms at them.
Well, I think that the rule should be if you don't spend $10 and put your name in the hat. You cannot offer any advice from the sidelines.
I like it. So you hear that? Somebody gonna pay $100 just so they can say all they want to say.
Well, they're going to say all they want to say
Anyway,
anyway,
that's
so they
right.
might as well spend $100.
That's right. Yeah, so go to Adams Pecans, check us out, and it's going to be great. And we want to thank Christy Crow, of course, and Jean Crow and Dixon for all they do. It's just great for us. The attention is great, but it's also great to teach our young men how to do interviews, how to talk to people, and how to calm down and talk about a loss. How you respond to adversity tells us a lot about who you are. And so it'd be easy if we were undefeated to be on camera and talk. But I had to learn how to smile and say the right things and not bite the reporter's head off because we lost the game. And you know, and it's not easy because when you're emotional and you're upset you lost, you have to be professional and have class. And so that's one thing we're trying to teach. And so it's pretty cool. And thank you for doing this, taking time out of your busy schedule. And thank you, Miss Kim, and everybody who's watching. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to the Christy Crow Sports Show. Thank you, Coach Spears, once again for participating in this and making it happen for your team and for everybody that wants to know more about what's going on with the Bullitt County Hornets. And this sports show is brought to you by Commissioner Henry Barnett and Church's Chicken. Thank you very much for our sponsors and for all of our watchers. We'll see you next week.
Okay.